Oh,
we'll officially start.
We're not even making small talk. I haven't seen this guy in 3 years, and he says get to making content.
Because here's the thing, John. There's no pre-pod.
It's all content for you.
Because everything's content.
Okay.
If I could have a mic on at all times and constantly do a pod, I would do a pod.
Wow, this guy. You could put that in your act.
What
You're that guy.
What? Just content?
Yeah. When someone says something funny, you go. You could use that in your skits. That's you right now. You didn't even talk. He didn't ask me how I've been.
John, we got. First off, you haven't been here. We do a Patreon now.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a Patreon episode.
Well, see,
eventually.
I respected the viewer by excusing them from the menial small talk we were gonna catch up with.
I don't know what these people like. They like small talk. They like big talk. They don't like women. That's the only thing I know they don't like.
Thank Christ.
So that's why I'm like, well, who's someone else that's like them?
Oh no,
John
I'm Ajodah
now,
dude. I'm woke now.
Oh, you're woke?
Yeah, I'm woke now.
Since when?
I'm Johnny Woke. Since I've been domesticated. We've got the old lady.
You got an old lady.
The old lady. We moved in together.
Wait, hold the phone.
Well, I thought we were talking about this before.
What's going on?
You were rolling this whole time. Okay. Well, I moved in with it's nothing serious, but we've been together 2 years.
It's nothing serious, but you live together. It's been 2 years.
We've been together, and if it's not a big deal, but if I had a flower for every time I thought of her, I could walk through my garden forever.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're.
She's white.
What?
White, yeah.
That's gigantic news.
Yeah.
John Ajodah moving in with a white woman.
The white devil, Snowbuddy mind control has gotten me.
What was the thing? First, let's take a step back. How'd you meet?
Hinge.
Wasn't expecting you to be on Hinge.
Well, I turned off the race filters finally, and then.
What was the problem? You didn't know how to do it?
Yeah. They defaulted me. First of all, well, no, longtime viewers of the show will know I've enjoyed, sweet and sour sauce. We'll say for a long time, but we're out of that. We're out of that phase now.
Now you like gravy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
Is that the white version of sweet and sour?
If I was a hack black comic, I'd say, raisins in the potato salad. if I was that, but yeah.
Is that a white people thing? Raisins in the potato salad?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
seen it in my life, but every black person says that's a thing white people do. Is this going to interfere with the
No, it doesn't.
audio
quality?
Asks,
but yeah, no,
okay.
not really.
All right, sorry I cared.
At least no one has ever commented.
Sorry I cared, but
But I would think that's a black thing. I'm sorry to grab, but I would think that's a black thing. Raisins in potato salad.
Well, first of all, I'm not in many functions where there is potato salad in general. I don't go to church. But yeah, it's that's an instant, I do mostly roast battles nowadays, and that's like an instant white guy zinger is to be, if it's black versus white, they go, you put raisins in your potato salad. And also conversely, I don't really think I've ever seen black people talk in a movie theater. Is that I haven't.
I've witnessed it.
Okay, in all my life, and where it's like, oh, this guy's ruining the movie or something, I've never actually seen that, for as iconic of a stereotype it is.
Not ruin the movie, but it's... also, what movie theaters are you going to?
Oh, true, yeah. I'm not really seeing Tyler Perry movies on opening weekend, so there's that. But that's not a stereotype. Yeah, sometimes I just see a stereotype. Or one that bothers me would be as an Indian guy doing a lot of... I did 9/11, I did 9/11, 9/11 this. It's like, that's Arabs.
Right, even though, you might have been involved.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with you being
I
Indian.
was cheering on the rooftops in New Jersey, but they... John did 9/11, this, or it's like, and I get everyone wants to reuse their same 7/11, 9/11 joke and act like they came up with it, but it's just that's an Arab joke. There's so
People are
many
doing 7/11, 9/11 jokes?
Still, yeah.
Huh.
Still, 9/11, 7/11 was a part-time job, things you've seen on Twitter, and they still are, and it works. It works. People laugh.
It's not
bad.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, but it's and if the joke was, look, I'm ignorant, I can't tell Arabs and Indians apart, then that'd be one thing, but there's no meta commentary to it either. They just go, Indians did 9/11, and then everyone will go, But all that to say, stereotypes not true, they're hurtful, and I'm not doing them anymore.
Right, they're only true if they're in your punchline.
Yes, if I say it, you did that, you did it. So.
I would love to see the John Ajodah Hinge profile.
Okay, so I would show you, and I'm not making excuses, but I changed phone numbers because I had to change phone numbers for a stalker. But
whoa!
Yeah. Listen,
What's happened since episode 100 of this podcast?
Listen, it was during the season of the Summer of John. If you're familiar with the Summer of John,
we talk about it quite often.
Yeah, the Summer of John was, for those of you at home, was a free love movement in the summer of 2020.
But just for you.
Just for me. Yeah. And then there was some uncomfortable contact involved, consensual. No, but a unwell person kept contacting me, so I had to change my number. All that to say, tied to the Hinge profile, can no longer access it. But it was just, here's a pro tip for you guys doing comedy, is that put a picture of you doing stand-up on your profile. Lots of women assume you're a singer. And then
really?
And then they match, yeah.
That hasn't happened to me.
Yeah, well, that's what I would get. Well, because I'm not doing comedy poses. Like, you're a big pose guy.
I do like a pose.
You go, but my ex-wife, that's a Rich Haffel
That's
joke.
a pretty good impression.
Yeah. And, do you remember Jeff Greenspan's impression of you doing Jeff Greenspan or whatever it was?
And it was Taylor Yorish does a fantastic impression of me.
Right, but he does great Jeff Greenspan doing you, I think.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it's layered.
Shout out to Jeff Greenspan.
Yeah,
He texted me. He was here
Rest in
apparently
peace. Yeah,
a couple
rest in
weeks
peace.
ago.
Yeah.
And he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to be in New York. You're going to be around for lunch?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be around. What's going on?" He's like, "Friend died. Going to the service. Let me know if you're free." I was like, "All right."
Well, we all grieve in our own ways.
Yeah, I guess over lunch.
Yeah.
Over a deli. Okay, so you meet singing. That's still kind of
Sweet Sarah.
Sweet Sarah.
Sweet Sarah, her name is, yes. Love of my life. You want to see her?
Sure.
Okay, this is for
Living together. Wait,
living
where do you
together.
live now?
We
'Cause
live
you
in
were-
Bushwick. That's
Yeah.
Sweet Sarah. See, so she can read my comments before they pop up.
Is that what you?
Yeah, that's Sweet Sarah.
Does she know she's?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not her background.
What's your phone holder?
Oh, it's just an old. I think this is from the thrift store Random on 4th Street that my friend worked at.
Shout out.
And they gave me. Well, she doesn't work there anymore, so everyone write a negative Yelp review there.
Fired?
Yeah, and
How'd you get fired from a thrift store?
I think she quit.
No, well, okay.
Anyway, I got a sticker for free, so we put that on the back there. What, okay,
That's
what are you
not
gonna do,
that's not that
browse
eventful.
Reddit?
Yeah, now we're going to Reddit.
Okay.
No, I will not buy batteries for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically have this laptop just to charge that. Here we go.
Okay. Oh, I understand. Okay, sorry.
Yep, that's all we're
I
doing here.
I thought we were doing like a picture-in-picture thing.
No. Okay. Now you're moving. Okay, you live together in Bushwick. This is very interesting. Now,
Yes.
because your mom's still in Arizona buying
Correct.
the guns and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She's still locked down. We haven't seen her since.
How
No,
was?
I'm kidding. Yeah.
But how was her? Like, what was it called? The Liberation Day?
Oh yeah. I don't know. Well, she doesn't have like electricity, so.
Oh,
well,
so does she not know what's going on with like
she's
the tariffs and everything?
She's not aware the war is over. No, she doesn't have a TV, and she just sends me. I don't think she understands what a tariff is or how it affects her.
Well, neither does anyone else. It doesn't
Yes.
stop them from commenting.
Yes. But she at least knows that no one's listening to her.
Okay, well, that's a refreshing take on
Yeah.
the psychotic.
Right. Well, because she is an insane person, but she does keep it to herself.
That's lovely.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Isolated schizophrenia is fine.
Which I'm sure. I mean, she's probably like writing on their walls right now as we speak. But,
Wait, she's having full-blown conversation with people that don't exist.
Yeah. She thinks I'm on the phone with her right now.
Yeah.
But-
She thought you'd been in the house this
Yeah.
whole time.
When I went to go visit, I put an Amazon in Alexa and I hid it from her so she knows someone's listening.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That'll
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Is she a big like Trump person? You would think.
No, not
so.
really. I don't. Well,
This
she
is-
doesn't vote. And to be fair, I
Interesting.
don't either. So.
Well, yeah. Thank
It's
God.
it's a pain in the ass.
That's why you don't vote.
Yeah, I'm busy.
You're busy.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Living in Bushwick.
Yeah, I've got stuff to do. I'm probably doing something that day.
Probably that whole day.
Yeah. Well, I've got work.
Yeah, you're not making
and then
signs
and then I'm
anymore.
tired. Yes, I am.
Are you still in the sign
Yeah,
business?
I'm still in the sign. Why do you think I was pitching the wayfinding?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, John's the only person. You gotta be like the 100th person to walk into this
If
building.
your building is not up to code, I'm gonna find you.
So do you
okay?
do codes or do you do signs?
Well, the signs are code compliant. You need signs per code.
But do you just focus on signs?
Yeah.
Okay.
We make signs.
You make signs.
We make signs. I sell signs. I close deals.
Who's the economic buyer of the signs?
Well, it's a great question, Rich. So it depends on what you're looking for, actually. So right now, your building is probably grandfathered in because I noticed the escutcheons on your ringers don't have
pretty good.
Braille, but you're supposed to have Braille on them. But so it can be the building manager if you're revamping an older building, or if it's a new project, sometimes it comes to the ownership. Very rarely the construction company itself, but it'll be the ownership entity that's buying the signs.
Do you just do indoor signs?
No, we'll do outdoor, exterior, interior, whatever whatever signage you guys need, you come to me.
Do you do like stop, yield?
Indeed, yeah.
Who buys those?
So that's the city, which we usually don't do government work. But if it's a construction site that has areas, we can put up stop signs there. 040 baked enamel aluminum.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sell the big like slow sign people hold at a construction site?
Yes, not the stick though. You got to bring your own stick.
No, you just do signs.
You got to call the stick guy.
Yeah. There's a stick guy and a sign guy.
Yeah. I can put you in touch with the stick guy.
Right, you get a piece of that commission.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark that up though. You probably go direct to the stick guy. Save yourself a couple bucks.
You've been in signs, I think, since I've known you.
Yeah.
You've been in signs for so long.
Yeah. Dude, I'm like Mel Gibson. I'm in signs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do
I'm
I
not
do
a movie
it?
guy, so
How do I
that
do it?
didn't hit me. I'm sure
That's a movie with signs.
Yeah, I'm sure. Not the type of signs you have.
No, they were cornfield signs, and then metaphorically, it was signs from a higher power.
Yeah, do you sell like astrological signs?
Don't be ridiculous. No, I sell real tangible objects. I don't know why this blows everyone's mind. Every time I bring up signs, people go, signs? Like you've never seen a fucking sign before.
But that's the thing. We've seen
They're
signs our
taken
whole
for
life.
granted. You don't realize those are made by hand.
They're made by
They're
hand?
made by hand.
Artisan signs?
Okay, so you know Braille on a sign?
Yeah.
You would think a machine drills it. We got a big fat Dominican guy with a pen, like a dung dung.
No, you don't.
Dung, dung, and he goes like that to every single sign, every single dot on a sign. If you have vinyl on a sign or something screen printed, we have a couple of Dominican guys in the back just going like this, hand painting them.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are afraid that AI is going to take jobs. I think we're fine if we have
fine.
a guy
We got a guy
punching holes in all the signs for Braille.
It could be automated. There's a machine that does it, but ours is kind of shitty, so we just have, yeah, it's too slow. We've got like what's his name? John Henry with the railroad back in the day.
Sure.
The big black guy who could lay tracks faster than the machine could do it.
Yeah.
But, as a metaphor for the indomitable human spirit, we've got a Dominican guy who can lay Braille.
That sounds like a bad Marvel character.
Well, John Henry is a DC character, Steel, that Shaquille O'Neal played.
Are you saying I don't know anything?
So John Henry is a real-life folklore character, in our world, and then also the name of a black guy with a big hammer in DC Comics.
Okay.
John Henry.
Is that who The Rock played?
No, that was Black Adam, who's not black, but Middle Eastern. Well, he's from a fictional country called like Kadar or Khazar or something like that.
Oh, I thought that was a real place.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Kandahar, but that's a real place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's from like a magic country. I didn't see that movie, unfortunately.
What do your parents think of you living in Bushwick, being a Brooklyn kid?
I'm from New Jersey.
Wait, I thought you were from Brooklyn the whole time.
No. You're thinking of Elliot.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting you and Elliot confused.
Yeah, two cool guys.
Yeah, that's
no, I'm
it.
from New Jersey. I'm not from
The
New
whole
York.
time I thought you were like a Bensonhurst.
No. I moved here when I was in high school. So
Right.
yeah, and I know the way I carry myself. People might think I'm a
Yeah, people say that's one tough guy.
yeah.
John Ajodah.
Yeah, Johnny Jokes. This is word salad. This is nonsense.
That's just what a podcast is.
All right.
Yeah, there's nothing to this.
Thank you. Yeah, I could talk about signs more if you have any questions. If you've ever wondered about signs, I can answer any question you want. I do feel they're taken for granted, but once you see how the sausage is made, you'll realize there's artistry to it.
But what's a day in signs?
So someone calls me, they go, "We've got a building coming up."
You just deal with inbound leads.
Yeah.
I guess you have to,
I don't
right?
cold
You're
call
not,
anybody.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Because who do you cold call about signs?
Yeah.
Everyone's got a sign guy.
They've already
I
got a
assume.
sign. It's us. Yeah, we got our monopoly on this, actually.
Okay.
So it's usually, they come to me, say, "Can you bid this?" And the nice thing is, technically my job is in sales, but I don't have to do any pitching or like, if you're not happy, then I don't eat or any of that bullshit because it's just construction people. So you just give them a number and they're like, "Can you take $5,000 off that?" And I ask my boss if we can. He goes, "Yeah." And then I go, "Yeah." And then that's it. It's just purely numbers.
Yeah, I feel like
So there's no,
what
like,
pitching is there with
exactly,
signs?
yeah.
It's like you need signs. They go, yeah. You're like, all right.
Because it's all got to be the same material, and we have to be like upfront by code to let them know like what the shit's made out of. So it's not like you can like upsell them or whatever. They've got a strict budget, and the signage package, I'm sure you're all aware, is one of the last things to be dealt with in a building. So they're usually always out of money in the first place by the time they get to us. So we just have to be really cheap with them.
Okay.
But every once in a while, we get like a luxury building. Like there's one down the block here that we're bidding on right now. Very exclusive.
You bid on buildings?
Yes.
For the signs?
For the sign package.
Okay.
Yeah.
This ecosystem fascinates me, the whole building ecosystem.
It's pretty cutthroat.
All right, so you're on it. I would love to see a John Ajodah Hinge prompt because I'm kind of nervous what you put in there.
Okay, yeah, well, most of the time, so I would try to do like the ironic thing where I would post like something funny in my own, because I realized like I'm not gonna not be myself. You know me.
It's kind of been the problem historically. That you're a little too much yourself.
Yeah, that I'm too honest of like revealing my power level right away.
That's right.
So it's like if I'm gonna be, I realized that over time where it was like I have to put how I actually am, because if you don't think that's funny, then I'm not gonna waste my time with this, right? Like,
of course.
Like one time this girl was like, "Oh, can you roast me?" And then I said, "You're not pretty enough to be worth
you said
it."
That?
Yeah, and then she just unmatched, and I go, "Okay, so if you didn't think that was funny, then we're not gonna get along." So
you can't say that on a date.
Yeah. So she just walked away, but it was like, all right, we have to change. But with Sweet Sarah's parents, they're very nice, but they're very like not sarcastic, or they don't swear or anything. So
so you like grew up like religious?
Kind of, like they go to church and stuff. I think they used to, but like they're not like, oh, you know, we gotta fucking pray every Sunday or whatever.
Where's she from?
Connecticut.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful Marlsboro, Connecticut.
Of course.
But her mom just like doesn't. I understand that I'm being sarcastic or ironic, so she thinks I'm just like retarded.
Do they know you're a comic?
Yes.
Okay.
But they don't think it's funny at all. Like
take a number.
Yeah. So one time, I'll tell this story, and then we'll talk about you some more. Where so we're at dinner. They come all the way to New York for my birthday to take me to dinner, which is super nice of them, right?
They took a train, probably.
It's like 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so like Massachusetts.
Like they put in a lot of effort to come to New York to buy me dinner for my birthday.
That's very nice of them.
It's very kind. Yeah, and they brought gifts and all this stuff and blah blah blah. And so somehow the conversation comes up. Okay, so my mom is drinking raw milk in Arizona.
Wait.
Right?
Wait. Your mom's not there.
No, she's not there.
Okay.
No, she's
your sister?
No one's there.
Okay.
It's just a small birthday dinner with my girlfriend's parents. And so I bring up how my mom is going to the farm to get raw milk.
Of course.
Yeah, and my girlfriend's mom goes, "Oh, she has to be careful," because I read in this book once that about Abraham Lincoln that his mother died from drinking raw milk because the cow ate a poison berry and the milk was poisonous. I read that in a book, and she died. And so she should be careful about that. And so I go, as a joke, yeah, that's how Abraham Lincoln died. And she goes, "No, he was assassinated." And so I wasn't going to say I was joking, because that's the most embarrassing thing you could say.
Yeah, no, you lean in.
Yeah, so I went, "Oh, I didn't know that."
You're like, what?
Yeah, I didn't know he was assassinated. So anyway, that's in November, right? And then it kind of just, there's an uncomfortable silence for the rest of the dinner.
This past November.
Yeah, 1 November ago. And then Christmas, that's November. Christmas time comes around. We're at their house, and we're putting up little ornaments on the tree because they love Christmas. They love Christ.
Right. Religious. They don't curse.
And so I'm helping her put up ornaments, and one of the ornaments is a log cabin. And I'm thinking, we can all look back and laugh. So I go, a log cabin, like where Abraham Lincoln was assassinaid. And she just goes...
You tried to do a callback a month later on a joke that didn't work?
Yeah. See, this is advanced comedy techniques to be that. And she goes, "No. He was born in a log cabin. He was assassinated in a theater." And I'm like, "No. Oh, I didn't know that." So now she just thinks I'm some asshole who doesn't know anything about Abraham Lincoln. And... It's been brought up privately between her and my girlfriend.
She's concerned about your knowledge of U.S. history?
Yes. She's like, why does he keep talking about Abraham Lincoln? Because I just want her to laugh, and she won't laugh. Because that's like my one thing, is to be like, oh, if you think I need you to think I'm funny, and she won't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your plan is to just keep bringing up Abraham Lincoln until one of you dies.
Yes. And we wish her well.
Shout out to Sarah's mom.
Shout out to Sarah.
Shout out to Marlboro, Connecticut.
Barbara.
Marlboro.
Yeah.
Wait, the cigarette?
I believe so, yes.
Oh.
So how's your love life?
Not good.
Yeah, I could tell this is...
Well, I got these because of Elliot Thompson.
Yeah, well, Whiplash shouldn't be a motivational movie.
I think it's a very motivational movie.
No, I think that the lesson was that's bad.
That motivation's bad?
No, that the obsession to the point of hurting yourself and others around you is bad. Do you think the lesson of the movie is to work harder?
Yeah, kind of. That working hard eventually pays off. You just have to get hit by a car and get kicked out of school.
And have your girlfriend leave you.
Well, he broke up with her. Technically.
Yeah, no, that's wrong.
I don't know.
But why is it themed the same way as this Blink 182 poster?
Same company.
I see. All right, that's not officially licensed merch, is it?
I would imagine no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this isn't the signs you're into. These are posters.
Yeah, these are posters. I don't respect that. Yeah.
Right.
That's more of a lithograph.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure either, but I know it's a type of poster. It's a printing process. If we could look that up.
I also have a Seinfeld picture. No big deal. I have that piece of art because I Googled most popular pieces of art, and that came up.
It's not the Mona Lisa?
No,
Okay.
It's all the same website.
Okay.
So this just happened to be the #1 selling piece.
Where can I get a Happy Hour poster?
My sister.
Okay.
Because she got me that.
Very cool.
But yeah, no, not doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Found out my ex lives in New York or New Jersey City, apparently. Had a mental breakdown. No big deal. Don't want to brag.
You had one or she had one?
Me.
Why?
Kind of the whole problem with there's many problems with the relationship. But the thing it boiled down to eventually was she wouldn't move down here.
Wouldn't put out?
Wouldn't put out 4 years. Wouldn't put out. And I was like, all right, then this is over. And then found out she'd probably been living here like 2 years.
Move here from where?
She lived with her parents outside of Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
What race?
Caucasian.
Oh, typical. In their culture, it's to move out of the parents' house, you have to be married.
At 30.
Yeah.
After saying you wouldn't live in New York.
What a whore.
What a bitch.
Everyone at home, go find her.
That's why I've never said her name.
Okay.
Because I am very concerned people will do that.
Go find her. I'm sorry to hear. So what are you doing?
Yeah, Hinge. But it's I'm not finding my Sarah. I'm not finding my sweet Sarah.
You gotta reveal yourself. Like to the point of autism, you have to be sincere, like honest online. Otherwise, there's gonna be like a hot chick or whatever. But then you're gonna say something, and then you're gonna go, and then she's gonna be disgusted by you, and then so you have to find the girl that's already disgusting.
Okay.
Yeah, which is also just sweet Sarah.
Right.
Yeah.
Does she listen to your stuff?
When it pops up on her feed, I don't think she follows me.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that's for the better.
So what? Because I can't imagine John Ajodah being romantic.
Oh, I'm a sensual lover.
I could kind of see. I mean, I don't think you're comfortable with it, but
9 inches.
That's how long your tongue is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But so you match with her. You say something autistic.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually just like a nice, charismatic guy in real life. Like when I'm with comics, I thought we're fucking around, and so I'll be like this, and then I think people don't realize that like I'm a human being.
Right, along with your girlfriend's parents.
Yeah.
So what's the first date?
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
You don't say, John.
Yeah. So she shows up, and then we go to this bar that I liked. That
Blue and Gold?
No, not Blue and Gold. But
shout out to Blue and Gold.
Shout out to there was a great bar though, but not for a first date. Anyway, there was a guy there at the bar who said if he ever saw me again, he was gonna kick my ass. So we're about to, which is a whole nother story. But we're walking there. I see him outside smoking a cigarette. I'm just like, let's turn around. and go somewhere else. And she's like, why? And I'm just going to be like, that guy's going to kick my ass.
Right.
And so then we just go around the corner. It's a Saturday night, so it's in the East Village too, so all the bars are fucking slammed.
Okay.
The one I was hoping for, that's usually not that packed, is a PvP zone right now, so I can't go there.
Okay.
Yeah, player versus player, and I don't want to get into combat while my girlfriend's right there, or my potential girlfriend.
Of course.
Probably because I'm going to get my ass kicked.
And I just want to confirm, 3 minutes ago you said you're a charismatic guy.
Yeah.
Only around comics you're not.
Yeah.
But you tried to go to a bar and a guy who said he'd kick your ass was there. Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure we're all on the same
Yes.
page.
So we had. I mean, I can have enemies and be a nice guy, but it was a hostile environment because I let him stay at my house for 2 weeks, and then I said, "You."
What?
It was a guy I knew, and he was like, "I need a place to stay," and I was like, "Okay." And then it was
How'd you know him?
At the bar.
Okay. This is a pool guy.
Yeah.
Is it a pool guy?
This is when I was Johnny Billiards.
I remember the Johnny Billiards
The
age.
Johnny Billiards saga. But, so then it was 2 weeks. I lived in a studio apartment that was 16 by 9 feet long, which was probably, like, smaller than this area. And
This is when you're in Jamaica?
No, this was on the Upper West Side during COVID because I got a really good deal.
Shout out.
On a studio. Yeah. And so I just had this guy living on my floor looking for a job. I tried to get him a job at the sign company.
Of course.
You know.
Which you've had great success with.
Because we'll hire anybody.
Yeah, well, I've learned.
Yeah.
Shout out to Juan Nicolone.
Yeah, and Menno Fernandez worked there one day and then left because we gave him the shittiest job possible, and it made me look like an asshole.
Wait, what's the shitty... I thought Braille guy's the shittiest.
Braille job is pretty shitty, but there's also photoluminescent stair strips. If you want a history lesson
Of signs?
Yeah. So during the tragedy of September 11th, 2001, the power went out in the World Trade Center, so people were walking down the stairs, couldn't see because of all the smoke and the blood and the bone.
Right.
They couldn't. That's Norm Macdonald. They couldn't get out of the building, and people were falling over themselves, tripping in the dark. So after that,
the dark was the problem.
the dark
on
was
9/11.
not. Yeah, the dark. Personally, I would have got out, but it wouldn't even have been an issue. I would have known where the stairs were.
Well, you're the strongest man in the world.
Yeah. I would have jumped a couple stairs down or whatever. But or if I tripped on the stair, I would have stood back up quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're very agile.
So yeah, I wouldn't have stumbled in the first place. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, point being, after September 11th, 2001, became law that all retail buildings or commercial buildings need to have glow-in-the-dark strips on every single stair. Nose of each stair
To
all
prevent
the way
9/11.
To prevent 9/11. It would have stopped 9/11.
That would have done it.
If the stairs could have glowed in the dark. Yeah. It would have saved lives. Signage saves lives, by the way. And like a little sign that glows in the dark that says exit, because if you can figure out what the door on the ground floor is for.
Right.
Anyway, installing that is a ball buster because you're on your hands and knees up and down the entire stairs.
I get that.
You have to you have to line it up with the nose, and then you have to press it down hundreds of stairs per building, right? And we had to do that one day, and they just gave it to Menno on the very first day. And apparently he called me up, goes, "So am I getting paid or what?" And I was like, "Well, that's up to you. You didn't discuss getting paid." And he was like, "No." And then I guess my boss told him a particularly offensive rate, and then he's just like, "I'm not coming back."
Oh, shit.
So he just did like he had the shittiest, most difficult job the first day, didn't know how much he was getting paid, and then just bounced.
Did he get paid eventually?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was getting paid, but just like a shitty amount.
Yeah, right.
And then it was just like, it made me look like an asshole for setting him. I was like, "Hey, you want a job? Show up here." And they hired him and they put him to work.
You're a friend with a plan.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this guy, I tell him to show up because be a delivery driver, whatever. He shows up with like a blank resume, like literally nothing. And I'm like,
Which, that's a pretty powerful move.
Yeah, it's like a blank check, but for incompetency. Hey, what have you done? Nothing.
Put your imagination to it.
Yeah, you write it down. Give me a figure. Anyway, so then he just leaves and doesn't get hired. And then he texts me and he goes, "Oh, I got this job, bartending job, wants to hire me. I'm not crazy about being a bartender." I'm like, "You don't have a home. Get a job, right? Get a fuck. You're not crazy about being a bartender." So I was like, "All right, you gotta go." And then he said, "Oh, I'll kick your ass."
Okay. So, you tried to help, but then you made him re-homeless.
That's, yeah, I unhoused, yeah.
Okay.
I unhoused him.
And then you stopped going to that bar. You
Yeah.
kept going to that bar.
I went by a few times and I said hi to him. And then he texts and goes, "It doesn't need to be said, but I'm going to kick your ass." And I was like, well, you're still at the bar.
How's he affording the drinks?
The pool table costs $2 a game. Expensive.
Is he good at pool?
He was all right.
Okay.
He was pretty good. But that's why you should never help people. And that's that.
That's the lesson we learned there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you walk into that place.
Yeah.
That guy's going to kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You'll walk out of that place.
Yeah.
Where do we
go to some crowded bullshit bar filled with like NYU students. At this point, I'm thinking maybe we should just go to Blue and Gold. Then that's too much of a walk. So now we're sitting there. She's in uncomfortable boots and wants to sit. Can't find a chair. And then we're just standing. Now I'm also trying to hold her purse so that she doesn't have to hold the purse and she doesn't want to let go of it. I was like, I went for that
because
move.
she just met you.
Yes.
Yes.
And then yeah, and then I was just like, still hit it though.
Sick.
Yeah. And then
Took 2 years.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
That's all I can say.
I'm shocked she stayed around.
Yeah. Well, she's her own creative type. She has a vintage clothing brand. She upcycles vintage clothing. I've modeled for some of it.
No big deal?
Yeah, no big deal. It's
Okay.
very successful. She's huge in Japan.
Is that true or not true?
Well, she's got Asian buyers.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds official.
Yeah, she's actually super talented for that kind of thing. It's she's what's called a maximalist.
The opposite of
The opposite of a minimalist. It's deeply offensive to my sensibilities, but she's very talented.
She's a maximalist to Asian buyers
Yeah.
who are traditionally minimalist.
Yeah. Interesting.
There must be accent pieces.
Yeah. you do the accent.
How the fuck are you? This is a fucking vintage shirt.
Yeah, it's that. Well, it's mostly vintage men's blazers upcycled with doilies.
How do you get into that?
That's what she does.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
like, how does a woman get into men's
She had a vision.
vintage blazers?
I don't know. She's always been a vintage collector of things. Our house is floor to ceiling filled with bullshit.
Well, that's a woman.
Yeah, so it's I live like I'm visiting from out of town for the weekend, and
You just live in a suitcase?
Yeah. Because I have my computer and like 2 anime figurines, and that's my decor.
Yeah, that's what I thought you had.
Yeah. So that's just how
You're making fun of my posters. What the fuck you have going on?
Yeah. Well, the city skyline over your
Yeah,
bed.
Elliot said the same thing.
I don't like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So how's comedy going for you?
It's not good. This is the best thing that's happened to me. Shout out to the gays.
Yeah. Oh, the foot thing? Is that the foot thing?
Oh, it's big.
Is that, do you want me to show whole?
That's up to you.
Okay.
You can do it now. You can do it on
Well,
the page.
I don't have nice feet though. I'm wearing Hank
They love 'em.
Wilson socks. I try to make a match as a courtesy to the fans, but they're because all my toes bend that way. I don't know.
That
if
might
people
be the
are- I don't
hottest
know if
thing they've
people are
ever
into
seen.
that. Yeah, but I'm not a toe guy. No, thank you. I respect it. I respect the foot guy. I can never get into it. I've tried.
You tried to get into feet.
Yeah, porn where it's like, oh, she's stepping on the guy or they're sucking on toes. I gave it the old college try.
Never for me.
Not for me. No,
Okay.
no, thank you.
I can't see you being into anything.
It is disgusting. Sex is, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I think you
No,
think.
I believe it is the tax you pay to be in a relationship. It's not fun. It's gross, and I'd rather be playing video games.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
still have about an 8-year-old perspective
Except
on it.
for my sweet Sarah. Yeah, her tight puss. But
Got it.
who I love and respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how I just can't believe that was the first date,
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm down to
This guy
see
gets
you
it
again."
yeah. Well, it also accounts for my 10-inch cock. Also does a lot of the talking.
Okay, so that was it.
Yeah.
First night.
Well, I had to close the deal. If we're not banging, then she's never gonna see me again.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
So you're like, all I have.
All I have left, my trump card, is my my blue eyes white dragon is the only card I have left in my hand.
Right, that's a deep Yu-Gi-Oh
Because
reference.
it's probably one of the most famous cards in Yu-Gi-Oh actually, but the location sucked. I didn't plan anything other than let's go get drinks. She wasn't laughing at anything I said because I think she thought I was serious too. And then
Well, yeah, she was raised by her mother.
yes, by a good 2-parent household of well-adjusted people. We have complete opposite interests and outlooks on style
Okay.
and design. And I think that's why we're perfect for each other.
Because of the style
Yes.
comparisons.
Yes. Well, she's a creative. She's an artist, and she's a very unique person. Like, there's no one else. Once you meet her, there's no one else like her.
Does she do vintage? Like that's her full time gig?
No, she works at a restaurant also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be. She's the one that sells the poles.
Yeah. She's a
I do
pole
the
guy.
sign. She does the poles.
No. I would never call back Sweet Sarah. So
Okay.
yeah.
So it's been good. 2 years.
It's been great. It's been 2 years, and we're gonna get married.
Are you engaged?
It's been discussed, not engaged. The pre-engagement has taken place. Where I said I'm not proposing to you, but I want to marry you, and she said yes. I feel the same way.
Well, yeah, she's not going to propose to you.
Yeah, well, yeah. She also told me she's not going to take my last name, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Huh? What's her last? I don't know if you want to say. her
Yeah, I
last
don't want to
name.
say it, but
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
well, they can find her. I guess it's not hard, but well, she also brought up a fair point where because we were kind of arguing about it, and she goes, "What? My name's not going to be Sarah Ajodah." That sucks. That sucks to say.
I don't think it's that bad.
Sarah Ajodah.
What's her middle initial?
H.
How's she spell Sarah?
With an H. So you can't have Sarah Ajodah.
Sarah Ajodah.
I don't like it.
It's not great.
It's not great.
But it's not bad.
Yeah.
She can't hyphenate?
She's not getting a ring now.
Well, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
a traditional man.
Tough luck, bitch.
You're about to give a dowry.
About to download Hinge. Yeah. Again.
New number.
Yeah. Gotta. Sometimes I wonder. It's like I have a morbid curiosity where it's just like, should I download this again just to see like. Because you know when you get like a new girlfriend, and this is true when you get like a new girlfriend, you all of a sudden women just start coming out of the woodwork at you. I think because you have this like new mojo, like this confidence that there's a new girl that you're hooking up with, and maybe not your girlfriend or whatever, but all of a sudden once you do get committed, everyone comes out of like all of a sudden.
I think it's a lack of trying.
Yeah.
And once you stop trying, somehow that's the most attractive thing.
Because the only time I've ever had women ask me out or come up to me at a bar is when I'm already in a relationship.
With her with you?
No, but just like about when I'm out by myself.
Really?
Yeah. I've never been single and had a girl like talk to me.
Huh.
But and also, although I do think, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm at a bar and there's like a hot girl or something that I want to talk to, I just go, oh, I'm bothering her.
Oh.
Yeah. She's not here to meet you or meet any but guys. She's there to hang out with her friends.
Yeah.
And there's no way to be like, I'm not ruining your night right now.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's how I think every single time.
Yeah. So you just go. Oh, one time I went to this girl and I was just like, I like your pink scrunchie, and she's like, what? And I just went, I didn't say anything.
Well, she was 9.
Yeah. She had a pink scrunchie on in the bar, and I just went, I didn't say anything, and I ran away.
That's what you said? I didn't say anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was very clear. I looked her in the eyes and said it, and then I just went, I didn't say anything.
No, it's and now well, I mean, you're younger than me. I'm getting to the age 31. The big move used to be friends of friends get together, and that's how you meet people. I don't have friends of friends anymore.
That's just how you not get invited back to the friend hang, because it's like, hey, Rich tried to bang my friend.
Yeah, I ran through a lot of that
Yeah.
clientele pretty quickly after I broke up with the ex.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, all right, now what?
What's your line? Do you have a line? I feel like you're
No
a line
line.
guy. I feel like you're a line guy.
Nah, it's all context. Do a lot of crowd work
Okay.
in those situations.
To a group of girls, and you're like, so how do you guys know each other?
No, but that's serious. You get pulled into a group. You're like, hey, how are you guys? What's your names? Or what you do for a living? That's great. You work in signs?
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling a connection, a sign that I should get your number.
That's how most of it works.
Yeah. Has that ever worked?
Yeah,
Okay.
it works.
I have no clue. I'm 28. I have no idea how to talk to a woman in real life. Like, if dating apps didn't exist, I would just be like a monk.
I like just if I approach raw, I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah.
With zero context to a woman, it's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't go great.
Like
With context, I have a pretty good batting average.
like if she was at a park or a bar or a cafe or something, like there's no way I'm walking.
0% chance.
Yeah.
Because then you're that guy.
Then you're that guy.
And I'm always afraid someone's like gonna like film you or like take a picture.
Well, you know what we should do is we should find like, okay, so I'll go up to a girl like that you want to hook up with at a cafe or something, and I'll start bothering her, and then you go, hey buddy, leave her alone.
Yeah.
And then I throw a punch and you catch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then she's going to be like, I don't want to talk to you either.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just stopped John Ajodah from doing that. She's like, how do you know him? I was like, it was all staged.
Oh, Jesus. I'll go, all right, I'll see you later,
You
Rich.
clearly don't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, she's going to go, I saw you guys walking together.
Didn't you pay for his coffee?
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't matter.
All right, I'm out of here. Sorry, see you later. I feel like that's the move, though.
I also don't like the great and powerful Kyle Mara.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to go to the West Village, go out to these bars, and try to hit on these women. It's it's exhausting.
Someone should investigate him, by the way.
Well, I think a few different police departments are.
Yeah.
But especially I'm 31, he's 32.
Mm-hmm.
He goes out with Bramante, who's 46.
Embarrassing.
What are we doing in the West Village? It's too loud. How do you talk to someone?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah. Well, I have a friend. Like, first of all, if you're in the West, what are you going to try to pick up, like a 21-year-old NYU student?
Yeah, that's actually pretty
Disgusting. All right. For a new rule, I'm imposing a new comedy rule. I think that if you're in your 30s doing comedy and you don't have a long-term part, you have to quit comedy.
Okay.
You have to quit comedy, get a life partner, and then go back to doing comedy, because now that you're entering creep status.
So you're saying there's not. So okay, you're entering creep status.
Yeah.
I'll say this: even with comics that have partners, they're very creepy.
True. Like me. Well, that's because I've got to stare. I've got to gaze. Yeah. But I think if you're 37 or whatever, and you're like, hold on, I got to hit up the mic, and then we're gonna pick up chicks afterwards. You got to go.
No, you shouldn't be doing mics.
Yeah.
If you're still doing mics in your 30s, it's a problem.
Yeah, true. Well, here's the thing. So I've been thinking about that a lot lately, where it's like, I think the people, like, especially if you're that bad and you've been doing comedy for a while and you're still like ass and like grinding open mics or whatever, it's like, you must truly love comedy more than people that are good at it.
Yes.
Right.
Well, do you like comedy or do you like attention?
True. Well, I'm saying like for example, like a comic like me,
Yes.
or someone like you when there's enough racists in the crowd,
Yes.
and you just crush, right? And
Right.
you're like you get that high that feels really. It's like being in an abusive relationship, but the sex is so good, you put up with it.
Oh, shout out to my ex.
Yeah.
Hit it on the head.
And sweet Sarah right now, but it's like, okay, yeah, this bitch is crazy, but the pussy is worth it, right? That's how I feel like you or I feel about comedy. These guys, they're not even getting sex.
Yeah, but it's the same concept of like OnlyFans models.
So it's like, no, it's like you're just getting the abusive part and none of the good part because you're trash at stand-up.
But you're throwing money at a thing, and you're just doing it for maybe like OnlyFans is like validate. I don't understand, but you're like, no, I'm into her.
Well, unless the humiliation is the thing that gets you off, which I guess viewers of this podcast might be into or something. But those people are truly fascinating because, like, some people. If you when you're starting on doing mics, there's people that dream of being professional comics or grind away to be professional comics, and then there's people that are just like, oh, I do this after work for fun, and that's cool too. That's if you're just a guy with a wife and kids or whatever, and you like to do comedy every once in a while. There's no problem with that either. But then there's the people who are like, I want to be a professional comic, and you have yet to get a laugh in 5 years. It's like, what? That must be a true love of the art.
Or it's someone that has nothing else to do.
But it's like, why are you then like start painting or play guitar or something? Because it's like you're first of all, you're wasting everybody else's time.
You think they care about other people?
But like, do you remember? Okay, I won't use his real name, but the guy who used to come by the Laughing Buddha mics who said, "I'm what Stephen Hawking would look like if he wasn't broken."
Of course, I think about him every day.
Every day, right? Were you on his boat? Did you go on his boat?
No, I never got invited to the boat. I also never got invited to the apartment.
So this guy would show up. He had a very successful job. He was very rich. He had this boat that he never invited me on. He would bring like Brazilian prostitutes to the open mic. Which is
pretty cool.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. Who was like 40s or 50s. He would show up, and it's like I was talking about before, if you just want to do comedy as a hobby and like drink after work or whatever, this guy would show up, do his 5 minutes, and then not talk to anybody, not hang out. He was unpleasant to be around, and it was just like it's like, what are you doing? Because you're not going to quit your hedge fund that you started to pursue your comedy dreams, and you're not hanging out and having fun. So what do you get out of this?
Well, I think he shows off to the prostitutes.
But he wasn't good.
He wasn't good.
Because if you're paying the prostitute, just go fuck the or like she wants a nice dinner.
You think
Or
a
like-
prostitute wants an...
Like I'm
would
saying, like the
assume.
kind that you pay to go out with you.
Right, an escort.
Yeah. Excuse me, an escort. That's the kind you buy her a purse or like a Chanel bag or something, and then she fucks. It's like you don't take her to make her watch an open mic. Like,
It was a one-person bringer. What did you want him to do? He needed it.
like I think about that dude all the time too. I wonder. Let's look him up. I remember his name.
Oh, yeah. No, I popped
Middle
up
name
on my Facebook.
Middle name Francis. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was his middle name.
Yeah.
We're going to bring this over to the Patreon. You ready? This is where you can actually become yourself, say your slurs and everything.
Okay.
All right, we're going to the Patreon, folks.